Having a console used to mean ownership, but now it means having a monthly fee. Even my nephews have grown up in a world where every game asks for something extra. On Roblox, they're constantly prompted to pay for features that come standard in other games. They do have a few physical games, but they aren't the ones that they play. And while modern gaming gives us instant access to hundreds of titles, it doesn't feel the same. Why did owning games feel so much better? In my last video, I talked about why so many people are starting their own retro game collections. But in this video, I want to explore why modern subscription services and the way that we play today might be leaving us feeling burnt out. When you used to walk into a game shop and purchase a physical copy of a game, it meant that you owned that game forever, or until you traded it back in. The games that I still have lying around today, I can still put those discs in the console and play them just as they were when I first bought them. You can forget about that game for years and come back later to find it exactly as you left it. But in the world of modern gaming, that isn't the case anymore. If you do leave a game for years and come back to it, it will be completely different. There will have been numerous updates that you need to catch up on. The nature of live service gaming means that these games need to continually evolve. And even when you do buy a game on disc, these modern discs are just stand-ins. Once you insert that disc into the console, there is oftentimes a huge update waiting for you even on day one. Half of the content is on the internet, it's not even on the disc. And even then, once the update's complete, it still depends on your connection to the server, or perhaps even running through an anti-cheat system. But a major part for me is that feeling of subscription fatigue. It feels like everything wants me to pay monthly to access it. And that can add a pressure that you may be wasting your money if you don't make the most of that subscription. And with everything asking you for that monthly fee, it can become easy to forget which subscriptions you even have active. How many of you forget that you're still paying for Amazon Prime? It happens to me every time I resubscribe. And the recent price increase of the Xbox Game Pass got me thinking about these subscription services. I've always been the kind of person that would rather purchase a game instead of paying for a subscription. Many of my friends would tell me how great of a deal the Xbox Game Pass was. They would sign up just for 1 month to play one specific game and then unsubscribe from the service afterwards. And even though that was far cheaper than purchasing the game, in my mind I would rather buy that game and have lifetime access to it. If I wanted to play it again in the future, I didn't have to subscribe to Game Pass. I could just load the game. The Xbox Game Pass did make sense if you knew you would never return to that game, but how could I be sure that I never wanted to do that? And with the recent price increase to Game Pass, it's beginning to make more sense to purchase the game instead of subscribe. These services like Xbox's Game Pass and PlayStation Plus do make gaming feel more accessible for many people. It enables you to have access to hundreds of games for one monthly fee. But for me, it felt like there were too many options. Oftentimes I was only interested in playing one game, and the idea of paying a monthly fee for this was off-putting for me. At some point, these online payment services have started to feel predatory. Kids are growing up surrounded by constant paywalls. When I watch my nephews play Roblox on my Xbox, I see that they're constantly asked for money, whether that's to purchase a revive or to purchase a power-up. Anything that can make that game more convenient has a fee to it. And on those live services like Roblox, it's completely normalised. When games came on discs or cartridges, that was the game. There was no patch. You didn't have to wait to log in. How many games these days leave you waiting in a queue? When Amazon Games released New World, me and my friends had to sit in a queue for hours. When EA Skate was recently released, there were queues. They were a lot shorter than New World, but I still had to sit in that queue. If there's a new live service game, I expect to have to wait to play it. And even yesterday, I wanted to log into Skate and mess around to have a chill out, but I had to spend about 20 minutes queuing, crashing, and waiting for the game to load. Whereas if I went over to my Xbox and loaded up Skate 3, I could have been up and playing the game within minutes. Over the years, I've called my Steam library my gaming graveyard. Most of the games on that list are forgotten about. And when I look at the store, there's too many games to pick from. I used to find myself spending hours scrolling through the store and looking through the discovery queue and find myself feeling like I didn't want to play anything. I was experiencing choice paralysis. And when I feel this, I end up going back to the game that I was already playing, because it's easier than trying to find something new. While there may be many great games out there on the store, it's flooded with options and many games that may not even interest you. To me, it feels almost impossible to find a new game, unless someone recommends me a game that they say is good. So while there are more games than ever, there's less satisfaction. And while I do have hundreds of games in my Steam library, I only actively play a couple of them. And even when I do want to play a live service game such as Call of Duty, there'll be a 30GB update waiting for me, and in the time it takes to download that update, I could just play something else. Live service games demand your attention. You need to constantly update them. There are limited time events. You can't just enjoy the game and leave it, because you'll be missing out. I've probably spent more time in live service games than any other game. Across Blizzard games like World of Warcraft, I've sunk thousands of hours into them. So I do understand why people love these live service games. For many, it's the communities that come along with these games, the ongoing experiences that they provide. But while these games never stop moving, it means that it never finishes. When I did try chasing achievements in World of Warcraft, the next expansion just brought more to collect. And sometimes I just want to log into WoW for nostalgia's sake. I just want to fly around on my mount and sit in that nostalgia for a while. But if my subscription's expired, I can't log in. And do I really want to pay a full month's subscription just to play for 20 minutes? And that right there shows the difference between owning and renting. And what happens when these live services go offline? For a short time I played Age of Empires online, and that game is gone now. You can't even download it on Steam anymore. Owning something online isn't owning it at all. You're just borrowing it from a server, and that server might not exist tomorrow. And that fear of losing access to the games that you love, I think that's what makes people collect physical copies. How many times have you wanted to watch an old show or movie and find that it's been removed from Netflix, or that it will be disappearing soon, or even that it's not available in your region? So it's on Netflix, you're just not allowed to watch it. And circling back to the Xbox Game Pass price increases, it shows that people were feeling beyond frustrated with this move, with people saying things like they're going back to buying games when they're on sale, or with one person saying that it's the first time in 16 years that they're going to cancel their Xbox membership. Are these subscriptions really there for our convenience, or are they there to make us feel dependent on them? And I don't think that subscriptions or live service games are an inherently bad thing. They can make gaming feel more affordable and connected. Despite the new Skate being always online, I'm still able to play the game for free. I'm able to load up the game with my friends, and I'm able to have fun with them without paying anything. But that experience can feel tarnished when I'm asked to go back to the shop every time I level up and presented with things that I could purchase, or when I can't log in because there's a queue and then the game crashes. And when it feels like every company out there wants you to subscribe to their live service, it feels like too much. These systems don't want you to enjoy the game. They want you to engage with it. They want you to log in and get your daily login reward. They don't want you to feel fulfilled. And this is why retro game collections are rising, because people want something to feel permanent again. They want to be able to hold that game's cartridge and know that it won't disappear when a server shuts down. Owning a game felt better because it was simple. It shows that people buying old games isn't just nostalgia, it's something deeper. It's a natural reaction to the way the gaming industry feels today. And if you want to know the real reason why old games still feel better, then click this video here. Thank you to everyone on the Patreon, and thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next video.